Hello, I'm Bob Monserrat from the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation Crime Laboratory. We're here today to talk about the change in our urine alcohol collection procedures. And that change is going to involve using particular certain kits that we have here, available here, and we'll be showing those to you. And this new rule will probably be going into effect January 1st, 2008. So we want to familiarize you with the proper technique of collecting a sample for urine alcohol analysis so that we can do our job here in the laboratory and analyze it properly for you. In order to accomplish what we have in mind for urine alcohol collection, these are the two kits that we have put together that we will be requiring you to use when collecting and submitting the urine alcohol to the laboratory. One is a kit which is made by Nick, and that particular number of that kit is 3010-IOWSTA. Kind of stands for Iowa State, but that's their kit number. And then we also have Tri-Tech, which this Tri-Tech kit has already been used within this state by many of the officers and have been used for collection of blood and urine. But this kit here, which is the Tri-Tech kit number BU-3, is also acceptable to be used for collection of urine. And everything is within the kit that is necessary for you to do the job that's necessary. And many of you already are familiar with collecting urine and blood using these particular kits, but I want to be specific in showing you just exactly what we will be requiring of you. The instructions for collecting a urine sample can be found in the Iowa Administrative Code 661, Chapter 157.3. This will go through how to actually collect it from the subject. Okay, the other thing I wanted to mention was that we would prefer a second void urine sample to be sent in for urine alcohol determinations. And if you cannot possibly get that, then we need to know if it's a first void or a second void. But first or second void is most preferred. Now, after the urine sample has been collected into the container, this one happens to be from the Nick kit, what's important then is to remove the cap and take one of the test tubes. This tube is a tube that has 100 milligrams of sodium fluoride, which is a preservative. This tube also has an anticoagulant, which really isn't important as far as the urine is concerned, but these tubes could also be used if a person was collecting blood alcohols. But what's important for us in this particular situation is the sodium fluoride at 100 milligrams in this particular test tube. And what we will do and how we will collect it, once it's collected into the vial, the urine sample, we will take from this kit the needle here, put it into the liquid, and then you take this vacuum tube and push down, and the vacuum then will draw the sample up into the tube. Once it is fully drawn up by the vacuum that's in this tube, then you can remove the tip of the needle and then remove the tube. And this is the sample that we will use in the laboratory for determining urine alcohol. So this is the one that you will send in. And then, of course, the other thing to consider is you want to rotate, move this tube just so that the preservative in there, the sodium fluoride, gets mixed in. So we'll invert it a few times, make sure it gets mixed in like so. Then after it's mixed in, you'll use the security seal that has been filled out. And what you can do then is take that seal, place it over the tube like you're normally used to doing with all the information that's on there, officer's name, time of collection, date, and also the subject's name, place it on the tube, and then that could be placed in the kit and then sent to us. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention was that if you wanted additional toxicology tests done, if you wanted to look for other drugs within the urine, then you would still preserve this sample here that you collected. Again, you'd want to put a seal on it, make sure it's labeled properly with the name, time, date, name of the officer, name of the subject, and place this particular container along with this container into the kit and then return it to the laboratory. I'm going to be showing you with this TriTech kit, which is the other kit that we have chosen to be used for collecting our samples. But what you do here is it's a little different setup. What you have is the syringe, and you have the needle, and you have the syringe holder. So you open it up and then you screw the syringe into the holder, and then there are two choices that you have. Of course, you can remove this and place the needle into the liquid, or you can put this protective cover and close that cover on the needle to protect yourself so you don't get stuck with that needle. And then what you would do is, again, place that into the liquid, into the urine, take your vacuum tube, and again, this tube also has 100 milligrams of sodium fluoride plus an anticoagulant, place it in there, and then push down, and the vacuum again will draw in that sample. So you allow the vacuum to draw the sample up, and then once that is up, you can remove the tip, and then you can also remove the test tube, and remember to invert it several times just to mix the preservative up so that it's mixed throughout the solution. And then again, you have this. This will be used for urine alcohol. You take the security seals that have been filled out again with the officer's name, subject's name, time and date, and then place that over the tube and seal it. Again, if you want the remainder of the urine sample to be tested for drugs, toxicological testing, then again, take a seal this particular sample with the same information of the officer's name, subject, the time and date, and so forth, everything that is required according to the rules that are written in the Iowa Administrative Code. Then you can send both of these into the laboratory. It would be great if you could dispose of the needle and the syringe. We do not need these items in the laboratory. So if you can dispose of those, then what you can do is basically send us the sample that's sealed back in the kit. Both kits have two tubes. We only require one tube for the urine alcohol. The other thing to consider too is that these test tubes could be used for bloods if you're not using it for the urine. Now that I've gone through and told you how to collect a proper sample for a urine alcohol analysis, there's something else you need to be aware of. If we do not receive the urine in a proper tube, like I have demonstrated, then we in the laboratory will not analyze the sample for alcohol. We'll keep the rest of the sample and do a tox screen on it, but if it's not properly packaged for us in the correct tube, we will not run the urine alcohol. Okay, now that you've properly collected the sample and packaged the test tube and the additional urine, if so desired, then you need to download from the website the receipt form. And this receipt form is very similar to the ones that you've already filled out, but this one is for urine alcohols only. And the thing about this particular receipt form, it has special instructions that we need to know. We need to know if it's a first void or a second void. We need to know if you want a urine alcohol done, or if you want, in addition to that, a urine toxicology test done on it. So this is what you must do, and it would be found on the website. Okay, once you've finished viewing this short video, we'd like for you to download another form. It's a form that you need to type your name on, the date, your department, and we would like for you to attach that to an email and send it to Garnet Wheeler in our office, and the email address is on that particular form. So once you do that, we can keep a record that you actually had viewed this particular video, understand it, and this is proof that you did that. So we would appreciate that.